Hello, and welcome back to another Chris McPherson Show Daily Dose. It's time to talk some basketball action as we count down to getting our teeth into this FIBA break. We've got World Cup qualifiers happening all around the globe, but we're going to be focusing in on the Asian World Cup qualifiers and most notably the Boomers and their two fixtures upcoming. We've got three debutantes in the squad, a return after 7 years, and a fiery trip back to that scene of the crime from so many years ago in Manila. The thriller in Manila, the basketball brawl that was. If you are enjoying our content and you want to see more basketball content, make sure to hit like on the video. Get involved in the comments and let us know as well. And, of course, hit subscribe on the channel. Let us know who you think will be the best starting five for the Aussies in this squad, as well as the Boomers look to extend their lead in pushing through to qualifying for the World Cup in 2027. And make sure, of course, as well, to check out our socials. You can find us at The Chris Mack Show on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. But let's dive on in and get ready to hit some boards. And let's talk about the Boomers squad breakdown. Let's start with the headline return. Mitch Creek is back for the first time since 2019. He's a veteran presence. He'll add some experience and some physical edge as well as being a proven scorer. And realistically, on ability alone, he's one of Australia's best non-NBA exports that are playing out there in the wider game at the moment. He'll bring leadership and competitiveness to a very young-looking group. And it's certainly exciting times for the Boomers ahead of these two matches against Guam and the Philippines. The squad has a bit of balance. We've got Nick Kay, who's going to be that defensive anchor, high IQ and control of tempo. We've got Jack White, the versatility as a defender, a championship experience as well. We're throwing some interior size with Sam Froling, which is wonderful to see after his Achilles injury that kept him out of the early start of the NBL season. Elijah Pepper and David Aquira from the Perth Wildcats. They're going to have some chemistry, some two-way capability, and give us some defensive versatility. And then, of course, Rain Smith, elite perimeter shooting, momentum shifter. He can be the absolute spark that can set things going. Throw in three debutants, Jacob Holt, Tanner Krebs, and Cody Statman. And it's great to see some of these guys getting some recognition. This is succession planning in real time, depth building ahead of 2027, and certainly an opportunity for these guys to get some international reps, especially up against Guam. John Riley will lead the group, the Perth Wildcats coach. You'd think he'll have a defensive mindset. He's got an NBL familiarity with most of these players across the squad. Expect structure, physicality, and clarity in the roles from the team. Really looking forward to what this can offer as they shape into this really key series, not in terms of the actual matchups, but in terms of just those building blocks and succession planning, as I said. Well, let's move on to the matches, and let's talk the matchup up against Guam first. Guam currently 0-2 heading into this one. They lost two matches to the Philippines in the first window late last year. This will be played at the University of Guam at the Field House. On paper, absolutely Australia should control this. This should be a Boomers waltz through. But Guam, look, they've got some genuine threats, but whether or not they can sustain that consistently against the Boomers is a really big question mark. Keep an eye out for Jonathan Galloway, a naturalised player, athletic rim presence, lob threat, and can challenge our second unit rotations if he gets a chance against them. Jericho Cruz, look, he will attack downhill. He's a high-energy guard. He's got plenty of points in him. He can move the ball well. He's dangerous in transition. And Ty Wesley, an experienced forward, strong post-game, and can punish if he gets the opportunity on mismatches. But the depth really drops off once we start to get too far past those top three. You'd have to think Australia, if they can win the glass early, dominate in the paint, stay disciplined defensively against Cruz and not give fouls, control the tempo and just play their game plan that really will have rolled out. They'll control it. They'll have no unnecessary chaos, and they should be able to build their percentage margin. Remembering their points differential at the moment after 2 wins against New Zealand is just +7. We'll talk about the qualification permutations and metrics as we go from here for the next stage, but that's certainly key. They need to just keep building on that percentage. We've got a depth advantage significant in this one, especially when we start looking at the shooting edges, when the likes of Rain Smith, Jacob Pepper, Kay in the middle, Creek as well coming on. You expect to see some plenty of minutes for the debutants and the inexperienced players here. But this is a game where the professionalism of the Boomers counts. This is where these guys get their reps in at a high level and need to make sure there's no complacency and they convert the opportunities and really put the foot on the throat and put Guam to the sword here as they look to take this out. Game 2 is going to be up against the Philippines. It'll be on March the 1st, the Mall of Asia Arena in Manila. This is the headline. This is the first trip back since that thriller in Manila where chairs were flying, tempers were fraying back in 2018. The Philippines are undefeated so far in this. It is a hostile environment, undoubtedly at the best of times there in Manila, but their crowds will not have forgotten that melee, that brawl, the drama in 2018. So it's going to absolutely be game on. And let's be honest, this Philippines team actually has some threats. Not that we would expect, again, Australia to enter this as anything other than very short price favourites, but do not sleep on this Philippine side. They put Guam to the sword comfortably twice in the opening window, and they'll be spoiling for the fight, spoiling for the upset here. Let's talk about it. Justin Brownlee, he is potentially one of the best players in Asia, honestly. On his day, he is strong. He's a clutch scorer. He's an isolation weapon. He's a late game closer. He's a big, big moment player. What he can offer for this team is absolutely huge. You throw then to Dwight Ramos, again, an athletic wing. He's defensively versatile. He can defend at a number of positions and will look to pepper you from the perimeter. Think about the way a Dejan Vasiljevic plays. If DJ can play like that, Dwight Ramos can do it on the attack as well. So do not sleep on him outside the three, especially out wide. If he gets his feet set, he will be a threat. And last but not least, Kevin Quiambao, skilled forward, high motor, will get through lots of minutes. He'll be a secondary playmaker. If we start to shut down on the key players like Brownlee, he'll start to stretch mismatches, create overloads, and take opportunities. We need to be on for this one. We need to keep Brownlee out of rhythm. We need to keep the contest physical without fouling and match their energy early and take the air out of this crowd in Manila. We need to value our possessions, convert our opportunities, and make sure we are defensively rebounding. If we give opportunities to Brownlee and co on the offensive glass, they will make us pay through creating opportunities. But again, the Boomers, they're used to hostile FIBA environments. We've got the experience of Kay, White, Creek, that defensive composure. Creek's physical presence, he will love to get down and dirty and get in the arm wrestle here. And we've got a much better front court depth. Our shooting balance across the lineups too looks much better on paper. And again, it's where Australia should dominate, despite being a lighter side than our first choice, is that depth piece. We've got plenty of opportunity, plenty of players who've got big team experience, big game experience coming to the fore. It's going to be composure versus emotion. We need to control that. Structure versus energy. The Philippines could end up being frenetic. If we can stay structured, stay calm, stay composed, we can maybe, just maybe, put in a statement road win and just silence them on their chance and opportunity that they are looking to lead this group. 2 wins here would see us sitting top of the group at the end of this window. Because as it stands at the moment, the Philippines are 2-0 at plus 65. We are 2-0 at plus 7. New Zealand 0-2. But they will also play the Philippines and Guam here, and they would expect to be winning both of those games. Philippines, New Zealand could be an interesting one, but New Zealand and Guam, you would expect that will be a win for the Tall Blacks as well. So we need to stay in that top 3. We need to keep making statements and winning here. We move on to what the next steps look like. There are 16 nations playing across the 4 groups here. As I said, Australia are sitting second at the moment in Group A. The top 3 in Group A will advance alongside the top 3 in Group C. Group C's current makeup, Jordan, Iran, Iraq, Syria. So those teams will then go through, and then they'll play forward looking for 7 qualification spots to go through into what is the 2027 World Cup, with Qatar already locked in as the host. This window, very much about building depth, stress testing some combinations, looking to the future, the Boomers handling the environment on the road and maintaining their momentum and managing to chalk comfortable and strong wins. 2-0 here will put Australia in a commanding position heading into that next home window, which is exactly where we need to be. It's a strong mix of veterans and fresh faces, lots of positivity, but don't sleep on these opponents. We've got plenty of shooting, we've got plenty of length and plenty of opportunity. The minimum expectation is going undefeated through this window, but can the Boomers do that on the road? As I said, drop your starting 5 down below. Make sure to hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel, get involved in our socials at The Chris Mack Show. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook. And we look forward to catching you next time on your home of the Black and White of Sports. No grey opinions here.